I totally hear that, Leah.
You totally do not need seeds.
Hello, fellow kids.
We're the awesome ones. We're totally hip and rad. We got a YouTube channel. We're social media influencers.
Hey, it's your boy Zionic Blader, and it's about time that I actually watched the Bakugan Battle Planet cartoon. Now, despite making all these videos about Bakugan, I've never actually watched the reboot. I tried watching the first episode, and I kept on, I kept on dropping it, like within the first few minutes of the show. Now, I actually recorded myself watching the first episode, but then I realized that I did not record the screen as well, so it was pretty much useless because I was kind of, giving my thoughts on the whole thing when it happened. But pretty much, recap for the first episode. Dan gets challenged by Magnus, and then there's a bunch of flashbacks and voiceover. And you know what they say about voiceover?
And God help you if you use voiceover in your work, my friends. God help you. It's flaccid, sloppy writing.
And then it turns out that after the match, Dan and his friends, they call themselves the Awesome Ones. They were being tested by Magnus to see if they were, good enough to be people who could, hold these powerful Bakugan. And pretty much they were warning them to stop making videos because they're making videos on Bakugan and how to battle with them, and that's incredibly dangerous because, when you have a Bakugan Brawl, there's like this giant field that pushes everybody away, and who knows how many people died because they got pushed by the force field and they were blocked by some sort of wall, and they're just like crushed. And even then, the brawls are dangerous, so you don't know how many people have been killed because of that. And Dan and his friends are making videos onto their equivalent to YouTube, getting millions of views and having a huge fan base, pretty much saying, hey guys, it's okay to essentially dogfight. It's cool, isn't it? But hey, it's the whole cartoon ethics, and there's a lot of real life stuff. If this were to happen in a more realistic setting, there'll be a lot of issues with them making videos on it. It won't be a YouTube video. It'd probably be a live leak video, if anything. And yeah, I'm siding with the antagonists here that they got a point. I don't know their intentions are. We'll find they're probably they are the bad guys essentially, but it's a shame we lost the reactions to my first episode, but we're gonna watch episode 1 to episode 12 because it's a long format series. And 12, I mean like actual full episodes. I know they break it down into halves, like SpongeBob for some reason. So there's like episodes of like 11 minutes. So I'm gonna watch all of that, and yeah. So we're gonna get to the second episode. They just seem down. The Bakugan just seem down to fight. Like Pokemon. They're pretty much just Pokemon that can talk, and which is kind of weird. Mainly because I don't want to like compare it to the original, but they are sentient living things, and in the original, the main character Dragonoid, he makes a good point where like, oh, you guys just think of this as a game, while we are actually killing ourselves for your enjoyment. But I mean, I'm not gonna. That's the last time I'm gonna compare it to the old series because this is a reboot. So yeah, but the whole concept stays that they're sentient beings and they're fighting each other. We don't know if they're being forced to or not. It seems like these ones just like fighting, like they're sparring, like as if it's a boxing match. But yeah, hopefully they don't kill each other.
I totally hear that, Leah.
You totally do not need seeds.
Hello, fellow kids. We're the awesome ones. We're totally hip and rad. We got a YouTube channel. We're social media influencers.
Bakugan. Only Bakugan. Why are you so focused on battling?
So I can get stronger. And to be honest, I'm actually...
Whoa. Drago just disappeared for like a frame.
Battling.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
A Bakugan?
Is that a Bakugan being used for a possible terroristic act? Shoot, man. Well, I mean,
Ready? Here we go. Bakugan.
the drone keeps people safe, but it doesn't really keep buildings safe. So, is it really keeping the people safe? Maybe I'm looking too deep into this kid show, man. Bruh, they got music playing during the entire thing. I don't know if there's like any moment of like silence in these episodes. I might have just missed it. Like it's like getting annoying here. It's like it's the Dragon Ball effect. You know, how in the original Dragon Ball Z they just had music playing during the entire time, because I'm not saying the music's bad. It's just that the reasoning for them putting music, you know, in these shows, the reason why they put music on all the time is to keep children's attention, because they don't think children will watch something if it's not like hitting their senses at all times, you know. But anyways, that was pretty cool, I gotta admit.
I'm the awesome one. Don't mess with us again. You'll be eaten.
Not the police, not the army. Awesome ones.
Now we know there are jerks out there who want to use Bakugan for evil.
Now you know. I'm pretty sure he's 12. I'm gonna let it slide.
Bakugan.
So you don't hurt anyone or anything. Get it? You gonna let him talk to you like that? Nope.
You know what, guys? I already got
The sass of Dragonoid. That's great.
who know me.
We watch your videos online. We're huge fans.
Really?
The awesome ones are the best. So that's why we went out and found our own Bakugan.
Found them.
You see, that's why Magnus and the crew were telling them to stop making the videos, because you end up influencing people who may not be trained properly. They don't have, you know, the inclination to, like, they're not ready to deal with this kind of stuff, or people who have malicious intent, and they're gonna learn from the YouTube videos on, hey, this is how I do this, and they're gonna do it completely wrong and then destroy an entire park.
What you said to them?
I was pretty convincing, and I am Dankuzo.
We have a breaking news report. There is massive property damage occurring in Sestero, Kenyatta.
Say what?
Oh no. Bruh, they're really going ham with the...
It's like they didn't listen to anything that I said to them. It's my mess. Let me clean it up.
You know, some kind of adult should be there, like, bruh. Like the police, like they don't have any police that can deal with this kind of stuff. Bring in the army. You know, if this happened in real life, I keep coming back to real life, but in a sane world, these kids wouldn't be able to run around all high and mighty. And I think this is like what, 1 month after they found the Bakugan, so maybe that's why. But I mean, like, they
Fire's out! Yay, and the park is fixed!
Anything that smashed inside the drone
That's convenient. But if you die in the game, you die for real? Alright, we're down the second episode, and you know what? It's not as bad as I thought. Now, the great thing about this episode is that the main characters, well, at least Dan, he finds out that, you know, the stuff that he's doing is having consequences. I don't know if they're probably not going to stop making videos, because the whole issue is that people are watching their videos and then they're saying, hey, that's cool, let me do that too. And then you see all this destruction and you're having terrorism happening too. You know, they don't talk about it in the show because it's for kids, but there's probably a lot of bad stuff that's actually going down. Like, people are probably getting killed. Dan almost got killed in the episode too. He almost got smushed by a rock. You know, and they were saying that, hey, the buildings get fixed after you're done, but I don't think if you die in the brawl, you die for real. That's the question. Whew. But yeah, hopefully Dan learns a lesson from this. I don't know if they're gonna stop making videos, because I mean that's their whole spiel, because that's what all kids like, YouTubers. So the main character's got to be YouTubers, but I mean, at least now the actual knowledge of them saying, hey, people watch your videos, and because of that, bad stuff is you're perpetuating this bad stuff into happening. Maybe it'll become more of a plot point, or maybe they'll just like drop it and we'll never hear from it again. But hey, okay, now it's almost 4 a.m. It's like 3:48 a.m. But we watched the first 2 episodes. The first episode, I was able to get through it. It was fine. I didn't like the first episode because it was just a lot of voiceover, and voiceover isn't really a good thing to have a lot of the times. The problem with the voiceover used in the first episode is that it was used to explain what they could have just shown, and that's more of like because it's for kids, and kids will have a hard time. Well, at least that's what they think. They think kids will have a hard time, you know, understanding what's going on unless it's being told to them. And you know, I'm not a marketing dude. I'm not like I don't work at a corporate office that writes these scripts, so I don't know what they were thinking. But hey, if that's what they think is what the market says, then all the power to them. But anyways, let's get on with the third episode. That's weird. The sound mixing for this one is kind of weird. The voices are coming on this ear, but I can hear. It's not my headset. I can hear the sound effects on both ears, but the voices are only. It's weird. Maybe hopefully it's just for that part.
Bad stuff. Then I taught some misguided kids to follow the rules.
Getting flashbacks in the third episode. Oh man.
Help us! Please, can you, Dan?
We got band-aids on the Bakugan. Man, Cindy's looks so cool. Like, I wish in the game he was actually good. Because in the game he sucks, but in the show he looks awesome. No wonder Pyrocinius Ultra is a rare Bakugan that people want to get.
That's right, Phineas. Keep up the pressure. That's how you thank Drago for saving you? You're a bad boy.
So it seems that like at least the last couple episodes have had this whole thing where it's like Dan does something and then Dan does something and then he sees how he acted by someone else and he realizes, hey, that's not a cool thing. And it's been done for a couple episodes now, so maybe hopefully they don't keep on doing that thing. I'd rather they push on for the actual story. but this is like what 50 episodes or something. That's really long, actually. So, the whole series is probably gonna be filled with those episodes. I don't want to judge it right now because it's still fresh right now. It's only been what 3 episodes that I've been watching, so can be a bit worrying. I have a feeling that this show would probably pace better if it was shortened down to like 24 episodes. I don't know how the story ends up going. You could tell a really good story in 12 episodes too, because they have a lot of time. So, and I doubt we're getting, get 50 episodes worth of like a show, like say a Gundam, where it's like a space opera and it's 50 episodes all political war drama kind of thing. I don't think we're going to see that, because the story's a lot more simple. A lot of the toy shows are a lot more simpler. I know, like, the first arc of Yu-Gi-Oh probably wasn't even 50 episodes long, and that was like quite a wide range. You visit the whole arcs and plot holes and plot points and everything. But anyways, let's continue to trolling for laughs.
Business through the roof. Quentin and Shark's pranks videos are killing it out there.
Our followers want another funny video. Isn't that great? Let's hurry up and make a new one right away. Right, Rock?
Oh man, prank videos. That takes me way back to like 2014. Man, prank videos are actually getting a resurgence now because people aren't keeping prank creators on check anymore. Back in the mid-2010s, there's just a bunch of really bad and offensive pranks that were going on, and they really didn't have, no one, like people started noticing them and saying, hey, this isn't cool, and pretty much they kind of died down towards the late 2010s. That you probably saw some of them on Instagram or on Facebook, but I mean, Instagram and Facebook is lowbrow, so who really cares? But on YouTube specifically, prank videos kind of died down at the end of the decade, but they're starting to see a bit of a resurgence come back. So, yeah.
You are a very bad Bakugan. Oh, yeah?
Bruh, it's kind of harsh words, because Trunks called him a bad Bakugan brawler. That's like a profession, but he called him a bad Bakugan. That's like saying that's a species, bro.
Yeah, if you win, go find yourself a new partner for all I care.
No, stop. But there's no way he can take on all 3 by himself.
Shut up, bro.
Not one yet, old me. I've had enough. I've done how.
And we just saw this like 5-6 minutes ago. I don't think we have to see a flashback of it. Aww. So that's the 3rd episode finished with, and they're gradually getting better. We actually saw an antagonist that was unlikable, a big jerk, and I didn't agree with this antagonist this time, so that's a good thing. And we saw that humans can be targeted too for these Bakugan brawls, and that it actually happens in this universe. And then the second episode of what is it? It's technically episode 6, like episode 3, part 2. I don't know, but it's a Trox and Winton development episode, so that's pretty good. And now I guess it's Leah's turn to have an episode for herself. Not bad at all. I'm enjoying it a lot better than I thought I would, so that's good. And I can see from the thumbnail of the next video that's going to be hopefully it's going to be a Leah episode, because it's time for her to get her character development, because all we know right now is she's the camera girl. So let's get to it.